Doma Sports Talk, worldwide, with some news from the world of boxing. So y'all know what time it is. You ain't in a rush to get concussed. Well, in the heavyweight division, we don't know what's going to happen going forward with those four belts. We wanted undisputed. We were very close to it. Tyson Fury had to fight Dillian White, knocked him out in round six with a good uppercut. Your boy Alexander Usyk, who has the other three belts, is going to rematch Anthony Joshua. We don't know. We think it's in Dubai really soon. So, but Tyson Fury is hinting at retirement. Most of us don't believe him, because there is an undisputed fight against the winner of Usyk versus Anthony Joshua. Now, let's see what happens. I'm thinking that cooler heads will prevail and we will get that undisputed. But if not, those belts are out there, which makes other fights significant. Bringing me to this one. You got Joyce, the juggernaut, #1 WBO, waiting in the wings and willing to fight the #2. You don't really see that so much. But Joyce wants to fight the #2 from the WBO for to make sure who is really the #1, and that'll be Joseph Parker. Joseph Parker, former WBO champion, who's only got 2 losses, and they were both controversial against Joshua and Dillian White in England. We know that. We document it every time we talk about Joseph Parker. He's on a 6-fight winning streak, and he's looking all right, right? Now, Joyce has just said, Tyson Fury, don't hang him up. I want to fight you after I beat Joyce, after I beat Joseph Parker. I know Joseph Parker, like, who the hell you think you are about to beat me? Now, Joseph Parker has something to prove here because Dillian White got outclassed a little bit. I don't, it's not far, but Dillian White wasn't winning any of the rounds versus Tyson Fury, right? And Dillian White has a win over Joseph Parker. That doesn't make Joseph Parker look that good, right? So therefore, Joseph Parker has to take this fight with Joyce, and it's going to be happening, they say, around the 2nd or 3rd of July. Whatever is clever. What I'm saying here is it makes the fight a little bit more important. I think a lot of eyes behind the Anthony Joshua versus Usyk fight, this Joyce versus versus Joseph Parker fight, is gaining on significance. The fighter that comes out of that fight is going to have a lot of momentum. We don't know where the belts will be. Let's hope, though, that we have one that will make it undisputed. It's just Tyson Fury is so, fickle, let's just put it that way, that we don't know what he's going to really do. We thought he wanted to be undisputed, but as of right now, he's sounding like he doesn't. I do think he probably will. But here's the funny thing. I think he would rather fight Joshua than Usyk, right? I think Usyk is the only one that's, that I think would give Tyson Fury a better fight than Anthony Joshua at this point, which is funny because Joshua's bigger and stronger. But I think Tyson would box Joshua really well and probably even stop Joshua. That's right now being even just because I've seen what he's done to Dillian White, right? Before the Dillian White fight, I wouldn't probably said it that drastically, but this Tyson Fury is looking good. Can't ignore that. You put the skills on top of, there's a one-punch knockout now. That's different than before with Tyson Fury. One-punch knockout, right? So let's see if he is willing to continue to fight. I think even his wife has come out and said, hey, for the undisputed fight, he should go on and do that. Because, let's be real. If you're Tyson Fury or anybody who likes Tyson Fury fans or boxing fans, you do want undisputed. Things are not complete. We can't say Tyson Fury is the best heavyweight. You know what I'm saying? We do, but we can't really say that. Not with a legend like Alexander Usyk walking around. Because Alexander Usyk has won every time in his career as well. And he was undisputed at, cruiserweight, and is trying to be undisputed at heavyweight, and never fighting at home doing it. If he beats Anthony Joshua again the second time, right, then, you're going to have to really call him the best heavyweight. You know what I'm saying? So therefore, a fight needs to happen because we can't just ignore the things that Alexander Usyk is doing just because he's not a huge guy and just knocking people out, or like Deontay Wilder was and Joshua was. Their first few fights, Joshua first 20, Deontay Wilder's first 30-something, 38, 40 fights, knocking each other out, everybody out. It was a little different, right? This is not exactly what Usyk is doing. What Usyk is doing is this. My hand getting raised, in your backyard. That's what's gonna happen, right? And that's what happens. So until somebody can break that some kind of way, it doesn't matter how his hands getting raised, but they are in your backyard, and your people gonna be clapping for him after the fight. Whoever's doing that is bad, so we can't just say, ignore that. That's why I think it's incomplete. Fury and Usyk should fight, right? And then we got Undisputed. And then it goes back to Joe Joyce versus Joseph Parker. Then that fight is probably the next best significant fight out there because, gone are the days where I've been saying, Lewis the Real King Kong Ortiz and Dillian White's the biggest fight out there that's not a championship fight. Dillian White didn't do it. Now I can't say that anymore. So Joe Joyce versus Joseph Parker is very significant. And I'm going to tell you, the winner of that fight is going to be able to say a lot of stuff. Everybody's going to be talking about the winner of that fight. Watch what I tell you. Because it's going to mean something. Because there's other fights that have been done then. Right? Joshua Usyk, and if Usyk is going to fight, Tyson Fury. But if not, the winner of Joe Joyce versus Joseph Parker is going to be the main character in the heavyweight division for a short time. It's going to be something else happen, but that's going to be very important. So, like I said at the beginning, this fight, Joseph Parker versus Joe Joyce, has gained on significance. Doma Sports Talk Worldwide, and I'm about here.